This man slept for 500 years. He wanted to open the window to get some fresh air, but what appeared before him was a doomsday scene. The man was instantly dumbfounded. Buildings were tied up with ropes, and broken bridges remained unrepaired. The man thought he was having a mental breakdown, so he hurried to the hospital for a checkup. In the end, the male doctor handed him 3 sticks. The man obediently put them in his mouth, ear, and buttocks. Unexpectedly, the instrument sounded an alarm. It turned out the nurse had misplaced the device. The man had to do it again. After the examination, he went to ask the doctor for results. It wasn't until he saw the newspaper on the desk that the man realized he had traveled 500 years into the future. Moreover, everyone had an identity tattoo on their wrist. The doctor noticed he had no identification and immediately pressed the alarm. The man was caught by the police on the spot. He was put in a cage and sent to court. Although the court assigned him a lawyer, the lawyer directly sent him to prison. Then the man was escorted to an exam room with a noose around his neck, because everyone must take an intelligence test before entering prison. The question was, what is 1 + 1?
2?
The man answered the 500-year-old unsolved problem correctly, but was still sent to prison for lacking identity information. Seeing how low the IQ of people here was, the man pretended he was being released today while queuing to enter prison. Unexpectedly, the prison guard believed him and unlocked his handcuffs. The man took the chance to escape from prison. On the way, he found the woman who had traveled with him. Just as they arrived in another city, the man got separated and was caught by the police. Surprisingly, the man wasn't sent to prison, but was taken to the presidential palace instead. It turned out that by answering the problem no one had solved in 500 years, his intelligence caught the president's attention. The president decided to appoint him as Minister of the Interior and held a national speech conference, tasking the high IQ man with solving the problem of crops failing to grow. Taking advantage of his position, the man first had the woman brought back to him. They wanted to escape while they could, but due to tight security, they had to solve the crop problem first. In this future world, crops were actually irrigated with beverages. Drinks replaced water in every aspect. Even newborn babies didn't drink milk powder but beverages, because people believed water was only for flushing toilets. The man tried to explain the role of water to them, but their low intelligence made it impossible to understand. The man had to say he could talk to the crops, and they said they needed water. Only then was water used on the crops. But crops had been watered with beverages for hundreds of years, and drinks had become indispensable to people's lives. As crops still failed to grow, an angry crowd stormed the presidential palace. The man was punished by being thrown into a duel arena. A large stone was tied to his foot. This time, he couldn't escape. He had to duel 2 armored vehicles in a small car. Though the man managed to crash the armored vehicles, he was driven to a dead end by a flamethrower. At the same time, the woman discovered sprouts growing in the fields. She paid a cameraman to come to the fields and broadcast the green leaves live nationwide. Everyone saw this scene and was stunned. The president immediately pardoned the man and even offered him the position of vice president, but the man refused. He just wanted to go home now. The president had no choice but to agree. The next day, the man finally found the time machine, but unexpectedly, the time machine was just an amusement ride in a playground. They could never return to the past. Thus, the man stayed in this era and soon became president. After some time, the man and the woman gave birth to the 3 smartest children in the world. They would take on the responsibility of changing the fate of humanity.